Hello, it is I, Ventus. Welcome back. Today I have another PEAR file for you. PEAR file number 10, the Desultory machine, which belongs to the category of alien. In this file, I will be going over the history of the machine, how to find the machine, what the machine is, and what the machine does, as well as what we think the machine does, as well as what manner of creatures run the machine. To begin with, I must state that cameras and other forms of recordings do not function when the machine is active. Thus, all photos available were taken when the machine was off. It is also very important to state that even if the machine is not manually turned on, it will randomly activate the other two components it possesses. The history of the Desultory machine is still a rather fresh one, due to the fact that it only appeared in the year 4963 on the continent of Venusia. By this time in my planet's history, the majority of the population had received cybernetic implants or genetic altering and splicing. Yet, even though we had reached such accomplishment, we still wanted more. As a human collective, we needed more, and the universe gave it to us in the form of a rustic, worn-down shack. There is no way to know how long the machine was there before it was first discovered. In 4963, it was first discovered by two survivalists, whose names were redacted from the files. However, one of them was recording the event until the machine was turned on. I will quickly summarize the video. Due to the fact that certain locations are being named, you will not be able to view it. It begins with the two youths in question traveling a very green patch until they reach what appears to be a dilapidated shack. They make an ironic quip about the dangers of finding such a abandoned abode. They carelessly proceed to explore it until they find that one of the doors is locked by a padlock, and the second seemed to be sealed from the inside. Finally, they make their way to the left side and enter what we call the phantom elevator. After they make the final mistake of activating the machine, the eye which is being used to record most likely exploded, as all recording devices seem to do when the machine is turned on, thus causing severe trauma to one of the youths. Every time the machine is turned on, a massive influx of energy is released and recorded by one of our instruments. This influx of energy and the report of the two youths' disappearance is what led us to discover the remains of the eye and the desultory machine itself. Since that day, we have kept the machine under surveillance and ran innumerable tests. The most challenging thing about the machine is its tendency to teleport without warning to another location on the planet. The largest amount of time it has escaped our watchful eye was 6 months. As of this recording, post-year 5000, we no longer know of its location. The most surefire way to locate the machine is to first search out the most heavily forested areas, as the machine has always been found there. The second and most complex is one must leave the beaten path and wander through the wilderness until what can only be described as a natural path is found. At this point is where things change. If any recorder is present, all life forms disappear, and one is left to their own devices to figure out the machine. However, if no recorder is present, then the machine is populated by a group of strange creatures that resemble goblins and other rancid entities. The first one to be encountered by most is a vile goblin that consists of only a torso, a head, and arms. He lives in a booth in a hole, and it prefers to be called Irrit. Irrit is very slimy. Very, very slimy. However, he doesn't lie, and offers some very sound yet cryptic advice. That advice: do not tread past him with anything you could not stand to lose. If you ask him for more help, he will shake his head and mention the terms of his service. However, if you offer him a bottle cap or aluminum can, he will give you a hairball he has stored inside him. It is important to note that the hairballs seem endless and are always a different color of hair. Once taken, if you continue to walk the wilderness, you will see a green shack. On the left side of the shack, you will see a open space and a strange, emaciated ghoul in a torn suit sitting on a green and white metal folding chair. The ghoul, whose rotten face has had its left eye replaced with a festering pool of pus, will smile at you, revealing a mouth full of rotten teeth. His head painted with sores and bleeding, freshly picked scabs. If you give him the hairball, he will eat it as fast as you give it to him. In return, he will reach into his coat pocket and give you a sheet of paper which reads, "If you could go on a vacation, where would you go?" That being said, we will now explore what the machine is. From what we have gathered, the machine comes from a different dimension, a dimension where the primary currency are thoughts, and living in the moment is a way of life. We can also safely say that the machine is comprised of three main parts: the phantom elevator, the administration's office, and the refinery, which is the rarest and most random of the three. To be honest, we can only say for certain what the elevator does. It is a teleporter that sends people one of two places: where they want to go or where they deserve to go. All this is decided by a person's heart of hearts. It is also very important to add, if one leaves in the teleporter, then they leave this world as they entered it, with nothing. The way a person activates the elevator is to lift up the white board in the corner and place it over the doorway. To date, only one person has taken a round trip in the Phantom elevator. The rest of over the 10,000 subjects sent in never returned. What we believe the administration's office to be is some sort of meeting room or office, due to the fact that one main voice is always heard, and at times he is joined by visitors. However, we are unable to make sense of the dialogue spoken, nor can we see inside, due to a padlock placed on the outside of the door, as if placed there as an afterthought to keep something from coming in or something from coming out. As for the third part of the machine, which we called the refinery, we know almost nothing except for that whatever you have on you, toss inside if you see that door open, because what comes out a moment later will be significantly improved. We've discovered this when the first scientist who saw the door open walked in. When he walked in, he was 100% biological. When he walked out, he was 100% synthetic. His whereabouts are currently unknown. The creatures that maintain the machine have their own PEAR file, but they, like us, are only actors on a stage they do not own, worse over in a town they do not know. Thank you for listening. I leave you with a chant. Habita culum mira antibus dunutar, sensus spatio amisit thesaurus decibellis et tempora comintentar.